What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we are doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because, gosh, crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next couple of years, and it's not even close. Welcome along on the ride. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Gear here, and it's a beautiful morning, and I'm so blessed to be on this journey with you guys where we're using cryptocurrencies as a wealth creation tool and real estate, business merger acquisitions, maybe some oil and gas as a wealth preservation tool. We'll have a lot more of those conversations when the timing is right. I know it's been a while since we've been on, guys. We've been checked out for a little while. We went to the PulseChain tour. That was a lot of fun. That was a blast. Met some really cool people, some new relationships with some Hexicans. We love the Hexicans. And then, we've just been having a blast. We're back in town for the moment. I will be out at we have another event next week that we'll be gone for. But then we're also I'll be at the PulseChain Tour Vegas. If you guys want to meet up there and hang out and have some coffee or some lunch, be more than happy to meet and handshake with you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are what makes the show. We thank you for being on this journey with us. And if you guys have your first time here, go and hit the likes. And all you guys hit the likes. But if it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that bell notification and subscribe to our show. We're going to bring you content throughout this bull run that we're entering into and cut through some of the narratives and talk about in the future some wealth preservation ideas and maybe even preserving that wealth via some tax incentive type assets. Man, crazy time in Hexaco right now. Hex and the PulseChain ecosystem has been dumping pretty hard. It's just a normal cooling off period, in my opinion, before the next leg up. Nothing looks out of the ordinary, except for the BankX, Dane, setting up a nice, massive sell wall for EHex, which, there's a lot of controversy over on Twitter. In my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours, Dane, I think them setting that sell wall is actually a very responsible way to exit out of the market. It's not dumping it and destroying the price chart. There will be plenty, in my opinion, buy pressure coming in throughout the bull run. Even Godwell himself could go in there and chew through that rather quickly if he wanted it. I don't know if he wants EHex anymore. He was the one that gave all his EHex up. Nope, I don't want this anymore. I'll take the BankX token, whatever the hell he was thinking about that. I'd rather have EHex. That's wild to me. But yeah, man, it's interesting. What do you think about that sell wall?
I've got a few thoughts. First is I like it. Yeah, it's a responsible way, but in this scenario, like where we're at in the market, I'd rather freaking just market sell the whole thing and be done with it. Let's move on. Once again, it would be my preference. It'd be a buying opportunity for those of us that are ready and willing to buy, as opposed to taking some time to be able to eat through a potential sell wall. I know there's a lot of people on Twitter that are like, oh, the Godwell could buy his bag back, or maybe Richard will come in, or there's Wells waiting on the sidelines. Maybe those things happen. But in the end of the day, we can't depend on them to do all the heavy lifting. It's up to us to be able to tell the world about the things that we believe in right now. So we'll see. But yeah, my preference would be for them just to dump it and let's move on, be a buy potentially of an opportunity. And we've been talking about it for months. I mean, until those guys are out, I just think EHex is going to lag. It's going to take some time to be able to theoretically chew through that, or a good chunk of money anyways. And so we'll see. The nice thing is they're showing their hand instead of it being this looming thing where we didn't know what they were going to do or what they wanted to do. It's nice to be able to see their hand, to see that they're ready and willing sellers at those price ranges. I think it's between 1 and 2 cents, roughly speaking. And we know. So at least you can plan accordingly because we have that information.
Yeah, it's like them just saying, hey guys, we're willing to sell our bags in these price range and buy it off us if you want it. That's what it is. I mean, and Yeah, I'm with you. If they were to absolutely butcher the price, that would be fun for us to all go in there and pick up the pieces. I would allocate some money towards EHex right now if they would go there and market up the price. I
Right,
would
I'd
be
like
like,
them
whoa,
too.
yeah, who wouldn't want to go grab a little bit of that? That would be juicy. But yeah, and nonetheless, like you said, it's showing their hand, and I think it's, it is responsible selling. That's what I'm going to be doing when I'm exiting out of the market when it comes to 2024, the end of 24, 25. Whenever we see the market getting frothy, I'll be sending a lot of sell orders on liquidity, providing single-sided liquidity to exit out of my position. That's just a great way to not experience the slippage. It's a great way to not crush the price chart. And you're feeling the buy orders as they're coming in with your sell orders. It's just you're the market maker. And so we'll see. We
Right.
will see.
And I mean, this more recent pullback, I mean, we're only down. I mean, I'm looking at Pulse right now. I mean, it's only a 16% retracement. Like, this is nothing. So,
Yeah. In crypto, it's
like,
nothing.
yeah, this is nothing. I'm not particularly worried about it. We just have to be patient. It's a little bit annoying that you have that W pattern on the chart, and there are a lot of people calling for the next leg up because of that. A lot of the time, that W pattern is is indicative of, hey, we're about to go for it, and then you had sell or sell. So I think people recognize that they're looking to get out. They want to sell into that, and we see a little bit of retracement. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those wallets that we're selling was tied to the Rackham pool wallet. And people are mad about that, and I'm like, why be mad about that? Let them exit. Like, let's get out. Like get everyone out who wants to get out and doesn't want to go on the ride with us. Let them get out. And the bigger bags, if we can get the bigger bags out, guys, this is good for us. And there's not an ecosystem, I promise you, there's not an ecosystem without these kind of whales in there. And look at Solana, for example. In Solana, it's the VCs. You have VCs with absolutely massive bags. And Solana just did a 10x, even with all those VCs dumping millions of dollars into the buy pressure. There's no ecosystem you're going to go into and not have this. And this by the market cap. I know Richard says market cap ain't nothing. I got news for you. Market cap tells a story. And when you got $1 billion market cap, it means you have guys in there who have some pretty massive bags. Do you think the $1 billion is just spread out evenly throughout everybody? No, it's not like that in any market. You're going to have some really massive whales and sharks who control a large supply. It's just the way it goes. And there's going to be some of them that are benevolent, and there's going to be some of them that are going to want to absolutely dump their position, like VCs in Solana. It's no different. Don't let it FUD you out, guys. We're going to get past it. We're going to blow past the sell pressure that wants to get out. Let them get out, and then we're off to the races. The Rackham Orgy Club. Yeah, it's kind of what it was. It's probably not even Rackham selling this bag right here. It's probably just one of the other guys who participated in his pool. The other big player. There was a lot of big players that participated in that pool, guys. It wasn't just Rackham. In fact, there's rumor on the street that Rackham is not even able to sell his bag because it's locked up in some LLC. I don't know how accurate that is, but there's rumors out there saying he doesn't even have access to the bag. Whether I believe it or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, whatever pressure is getting out, let the pressure get out and let us move on, man. It's like every ecosystem, when you get these $1 billion, numbers, you're going to have it. And we are $1 billion ecosystem. Make no mistake. Market cap does matter, but $1 billion can go to $100 billion in the bull run. It happens all the time. So, let's just chew through it down these lower levels and get to brighter days.
Yep, agreed. In fact, I'll pull this up for some of you guys that are less familiar with how this works. I'll pull it up here in just a second. One of the questions that is a good one here Yeah, I like this one. Let's talk about this narrative a little bit. You talked about a Super Bowl going into 2026. Can you expand on that?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I'll start, Nate, and then you can kind of elaborate too on your ideologies with this stuff. But everyone is calling for a left translated cycle. Everyone is calling for a squeeze on all markets because of the interest rates and what can happen. We might see a recession coming shortly after they do a Fed pivot. And in that case, if we see something like that in the middle or towards the end of 2024, there's a very high likelihood that we see what most people think will be the left trend cycle. But what people won't realize is that it will roll over. Crypto will roll over. Probably with it, we could finish out the year a red year because we had a rollover on all markets because of the Fed pivot. Because that's what happened historically. Now, is it guaranteed to happen? No, of course not. Like we don't. This is all speculation. But you want to think of all scenarios out in your head and look at data. And so, like, right. So if we do maybe like a 5 to 10x in this, basically this, what do you call altcoin run, and then the Fed pivots, well, then we're probably going to see some downward pressure for a while. But we do one thing is that the U.S. economy or the Fed knows how to do one thing and one thing only is when we do have a recession. We won't stay down there very long. They love to print the money. They're going to turn the money printer back on. They're going to inflate the dollar to oblivion to save the economy. Could happen, this year. It could happen next year. I don't know. This is all speculation once again, but they're going to save the economy. They're going to pull it out. It could take 6 months to a year for the economy to correct. And if that were to happen, while we're in the deep recession, crypto would probably stay red. And so we would have a second top or a second bull run. It would probably go all the way into 2026 to give time for the economy to kind of correct from the money printing. So that's the way I see it in my head. I'm not the one who came up with this idea, so I can't take credit. I see people smarter than me talking about this stuff. And so like, I'm just looking at all scenarios and then I just, talk about it with you guys. I don't come up with any of this stuff. I just listen to what's out there, what the possibilities are, think these things through for myself. So that way I'm not, blindsided. I want to know all the possibilities, what could happen to my portfolio and prepare accordingly.
Yep, agreed. And I mean, like the real alt season doesn't really kick off until Bitcoin gets to new all-time highs. And so, like when does it get to new all-time highs? I think one wrench in that potential scenario you're explaining, Corey, is like the likelihood that the Fed pivots in May has gone down substantially. In fact, I think you were the one that was saying that they changed the odds to, I think it was just a hair over 30%, between 30 and 40%, that they raised rates in May, like was initially projected. And so, like raising rates is not bullish for markets, it's bearish. And that's where if it really did happen in May, then you could see money printing, unless you get a COVID event where they inject in so much capital that they keep the economy on life support, they build the bubble up further, like a correction, a pivot. Yeah. A pivot isn't bullish for markets. And so I'm hopeful that they push it off. I mean, so here's the best scenario. The best top is I would love nothing more than them be able to push this off and pivot more towards the end of the year or even at the beginning of next. That would be excellent. In fact, you have a Trump reelection. Now, I'm not a Trumper, but it's good for our bags. So you have a Trump reelection. You have the Fed pivot. Once he comes into office at the beginning of the year, you have an ETH ETF. All of those things happen at the same
time.
Me and Corey will be out. We will be out.
And signal.
Yes. I would love.
Why everyone else is like,
this
is the new bull run. Super cycle is here. Let's go. And, yeah, no.
No.
I will be Bank X then. I don't have as big bags of Bank X, but I will be Bank X setting the top side liquidity for retail to buy into at that point.
Yep. So we'll see. Like it'll be interesting. You just want to be paying attention to these things. As long as, in my opinion, as long as we're seeing the S&P 500 continuing on this tear,
that's the other thing.
Then we're good. You know, then we're.
I'm glad you brought that up, because as long as the S&P 500 is making new all-time highs, which it is, like, it's risk on. In my opinion, it's risk on. So, like, you keep a close eye on that, guys. That is the like Bitcoin's the granddaddy of crypto. Well, the S&P 500 is like the granddaddy of the world. Like, you want to know markets and what's going on? Like, just follow the S&P 500. That's all you got to do. That's where all the liquidity's at. Like, that is the liquidity. Like, you want to know what that's doing. If you want to know what all these subset markets are doing, it's just the S&P 500. I mean, so keep that in mind. You start seeing that thing roll over a little bit, and you make a lower high or whatever they call that, higher low. That's when you start watching things a lot closely, a lot more closer.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good
There's
point.
a couple interesting takes. TG says they could be overpriced now because the value of Pulse, et cetera, is based upon trading many useless coins in the network. People have experienced this and are getting out, with the exception of Bitcoin. Yeah, I would say you could make that argument for any blockchain. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if they want to exit, go ahead. They pour it into speculation rather than value. Yeah. Except for that, the bottom is a lot closer than any kind of top that we've seen. So, I mean, we have a lot of upside potential versus downside. So, keep that in mind. And we could float around here at the bottom for a very long time. I don't think we will. That's my speculation. But once again, anything can happen.
Yeah. And the market's run on speculation. Like, all of it is a big bubble of speculation. And frankly, I want to be in the stuff where there's the most speculation, because that has the most upside too. It's interesting when you go back and you look at things that say, like, it's value or utility based. We went to a conference this weekend, and a couple of the guys, I was giving them some ideas that I've got, and they said, well, what's the utility? And man, you guys probably in the chat made the same mistake as me before, where you overvalued things with utility, and you left a lot of money on the table because of that. There's a balance to be had there, right? Maybe I'm saying what TG is saying, just in a different way, but yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, speculators mount up, all part of the fun.
And I'll say, man, like, the upside potential from here in PulseChain is infinitely greater than my downside risk. Or my downside risk, we can go back and hit the all-time bottom again. It can go to zero. It really can. But, like, I'm good at making money in the real world. I'll just go make more money in the real world and bring it in, right? Like, but my upside, I can literally get a 10x, 15x, 20x, 100x on my money. Like, I will take that bet any day of the week where I can get 100x versus whatever my downside risk from here. Like, it's just, there's no comparison to me. Like, there's no reason at all why, for me, it's not financial advice, guys. So do what you want, buy bonds, but there's no reason why I'd be in stable coins, why I'm going to get my upside potential. If I get downside, I'm ready for it, and I'm prepared, and I'm not broke, and I want to make money in the real world to bring more in. If I needed to, bring more in, it doesn't. The upside to downside is so much infinitely greater. There's no comparison for me.
Agreed. And getting left behind at this point would be so painful.
More painful. More painful than price dropping. Like, I sat through a 2-year bear market. Whatever, jump price again. Like, okay, fine. Like, whatever. Like, that don't scare me.
It's interesting because if you measure from where we're at right now to, like, going back to pretty well like the bottom of Pulse, and I'm measuring PulseChain. Yeah, you'd have a 70. Is that 74%?
Drop in price.
Yeah, about a 74% retracement if you went back to all-time lows. But I think that's so unlikely. Now, once again, we don't get any financial on the show. Go buy bonds. We could be totally wrong. But I just think the likelihood of that is so low, because, man, like, how much worse news is there going to be? We've already gone through the SEC stuff. Richard has his attorneys. He's fighting it. I mean, here's a scenario where you could send it back down again as somebody, the DOJ come out and say they're prosecuting Richard because they have new information. What's the likelihood of that? I don't personally think it's very high. And beyond that, even if that were to happen, like I think that's a flash crash that rebounds relatively quickly. Like we're in the time in the market where there's a lot more potential upside than there is down, in my opinion. I want to allocate accordingly.
Agreed. And I'll comment on this one. I say it's because market cap is high, but TG, is it really? Look at all the other layer one out there. Look at XRP. XRP hit well over $100 billion market cap with the SEC news hovering over it. On the last cycle, Cardano hit $100 billion market cap. Like, depends on how you're building your portfolio. Are you building your portfolio out where a 50x changes the trajectory of your life? Or are you building your portfolio out where you need 1,000x to change the trajectory of your life? Now, nothing wrong with 1,000x, like daydreaming about 1,000x. I get it. But build your portfolio out where you don't need 1,000x. Build it out where you only need a 20x, a 30x. If you get the 1,000x, then holy crap, you're buying yachts. But you build your portfolio out with very realistic expectations. There's no reason at all why a PulseChain can't hit $100 billion market cap in this market cycle. In my opinion, once again, not financial advice. This is for me and my portfolio and what my expectations are. It's, I'm good with $100 billion market cap. Like, I'm good. Like, Dane's going to be good if we hit $100 billion market cap. He's going to be piecing out in Puerto Rico. I don't even know if I'll see him anymore. So, like, guys, this is like the reality of it. Build your portfolio with realistic expectations. That's the key. And then it goes to the moon, then great. Like, do I think it can do that? It could. I don't know. Like, I have no idea. There's a saying, crypto can go lower than anyone ever thought, and crypto can go higher than your imagination can ever dream of. Like, it can go both ways. And so we don't know how high it possibly can go. Like, I hope it could go to like a $500 billion market cap. I could imagine that. But if crypto's at a $10 trillion market cap, because we're just printing money and we're back off to the races, maybe it's on the leg 2 of the bull run in 2026, and Richard's won the court case, I don't know what's possible then. Anything is possible at that point. And so just, have realistic expectations. And then if it blows it out of the water, that's great too, So it's just about how you're building your portfolio and how you're positioning yourself. That, once again, is why I don't fornicate with stable coins, Hami calls it, and why I am in the market. And I still have skill sets to make more money in the real world if I am wrong, all this. So it's just about positioning yourself correctly. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Right. And I think it's healthy. I mean, I think it's healthy perspective too, to like, where else in the real world over the next year do you have, even conservatively, can you go and double your money, just by parking some money and sitting on your hands? Or can you go
not in real estate?
Or can you go 10x your money theoretically by just parking some money and sitting on your hands? Nowhere. There's literally nowhere else. And by all means, if we go get 100x, 1,000x, all the better. But gosh, like, it's important perspective, I think, to keep in mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I hope so. I hope I'm in it. Dude, Addy, I hope I get 1,000x, but I built my portfolio for the 20x. If I get 1,000x, then it's just, because I'm not going to sell my entire 20. I might take some off the top. I might do a little bit more than that. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with the market at that time. But like, if we get 1,000x, I'm going to have a seat at that table too. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's like I said, what sets the stage for that? Setting a stage for 1,000x would be like getting out of weed the economy and with the interest rates and the pivots. So maybe we've gone through that portion of the cycle. What also set the stage for that? Well, RH winning the case or the case getting dismissed. That sets the stage for that. You're going to see a lot of bigger money in REIT coming in. All these big influencers, we're already starting to see it, really start to talk about PulseChain. I think PulseChain is the best blockchain in crypto. It's fully decentralized, and it's the freaking sickest thing ever because of you guys, the community. The community make this thing, and it's just, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm not going anywhere, guys, but set yourself up for realistic expectations, and I hope you get better like I do. Like, I'm here for it. I mean, I don't know. You guys better all come visit me in Puerto Rico at 1000X.
Absolutely. In fact, I mean, and once again, I just think I think the goal of being married is to continue to stay married. The goal of getting in shape is to continue to be in shape. The goal, in my opinion, of being in crypto is to be able to continue to play the game. And I think mentally, for me, anyways, I can speak for myself, it's a lot easier to have more conservative expectations and have those crushed than to have a 10,000x expectation on everything that's Richard's and not get there and be disappointed. So, you just build a mental model for yourself to be able to help you stay in the game.
I love that. Very well said. Very well said.
That's a good question. No, so if
I'm
once
waiting
the
for my
bear,
bridge money to come across, Paul Sachs. What do you mean cheating? I'm trying to get a little more in. I mean,
no, he's saying,
I'm
are we
on.
cheating on the show? Are we quitting the show in 2026? No, we'll be beating the drums, talking about diversifying into other assets so that people aren't round tripping the top this time and are able to take profits and do other things. So I'm telling you, we're going to be beating the drums hard. You guys are going to be able to come and participate in deals with us if you so choose, and it's going to be fun. Things are just getting started for what we're building, and you guys are here for the ride.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
And lighter news, Party launched in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
We love that builders are still building. We love that protocols are still launching, guys. This means that we have a flourishing, emerging chain, right? We have stuff coming to fruition that people said that they're going to build. That we have the earn protocol that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, that's always 2 more weeks, like everything else. But Party launched, and you got to airdrop, guys. If you guys have Team, if you have the Gopher, if you have Maxi, if you have any of the perpetuals, you got to airdrop. Wasn't a lot. I got a little bit. I went and checked it, but I did DCA and buy some more. I bought a little bag of it because I like the game theory behind Party, where basically when someone creates one of these pools, these hex pools, they're going to pay a small little fee in hex terms. That pool, and those fees go to the party holders. So it's kind of like a tax token, but not really, because a tax token's like the buy and sell of the token, where this is done on the utility or the use case of the token, which I like that. So it's not affected by the buy and sell, but it's affected by the using of the token for this utility. And then that hex gets paid to the holder of the party token. And I like that. I don't know how much it's going to be. It depends on how the usage of protocol, but I like the idea of holding this token over here and I'm getting paid in hex over here. Man, it's fun. I picked up a small little bag of it just to play. I didn't go heavy at all, but I like the idea and it's fun. So I own some Party. We'll see what happens. I like that people are building.
Yep, I got some too. In fact, where can people go and claim their airdrop, Corey? I'm looking for the website right now. I'm drawing a blank.
It's on the I was on it the other day on app.hexpool.party. It looks like. Let me confirm that for you.
Yeah,
I am loading the DApp as we speak. Yep, that's it. So it's app.hexpool.party. And if you underneath the first section, and if Daniel, if you were, there we go. Right there, you can see into that first section is a claim airdrop. You connect your wallet.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And you can stake it in there too, right? That's the same place you come and stake it.
Here's something let's talk about this. Watch. Go to the I'm going to enlarge my screen so I can see your screen very well. Go to the select days in yield. If you stake Party, you do not get the hex rewards. You get more Party, but for me, it's not worth it because watch, Dane. Select the select days in yield.
Let me log into my test wallet here and we'll poke around a little.
I'll show you why I think holding it liquid is more advantageous. I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna be totally wrong. I'm just, a dude in the internet making speculation. But click there. and it should see drop down.
Can you see my screen? Can you see the drop down?
I cannot.
Maybe I'm sharing it weird. Hold on.
It's weird. I see when you're selecting it, it highlights, but I don't see the drop down. That's weird.
Oh, weird. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's stop sharing. And let's
try to roll back in there. And while you do that, congrats to the catcher and Goki and those guys over there. They're the ones who spearheaded this protocol, which is super awesome. Once again, guys, I love the builders in our community. They are the ones. There we go.
There we go.
But here's what I don't like about it. For one, I'm not a big advocate of staking anyway. As you guys know that, unless I'm staking on a very short time horizon. But look how long you have to stake the thing to make it interesting. In the you get paid in the form of more party. You give up your hex yield. You give up your hex yield. If you didn't give up the hex yield, maybe this would be a lot sexier. But look,
what do you mean when you say you give up the hex yield?
You don't make any hex yield, or if you hold party liquid in your wallet, you'll receive a hex airdrop every couple weeks.
Okay.
If you stake it, you do not receive the airdrop. You're taken out of the snapshot. There's a snapshot that happens every couple weeks for your portion of the hex yield. If you stake your party, it burns the party, it burns it, and you're not in the snapshot for the hex rewards.
Huh.
So
and you're sacrificing that to earn more party token is the idea.
Yeah, but look how much party you're earning. Look at a year.
Yeah.
Let's say take 1 year, for example. 2.38%, dude. Come on, man. I'm not interested.
You can stake it out to 100 years for the next generation.
100 years. And you'll earn on average a 99% APY. Like, dude.
What's the earning yield versus APY?
That's based off the year, or I think it is like you can see up to a year. Watch when you take it up to a year, see the 2.38, and it's matching 2.38, and then you go 2 years, and then it's double, but your yield, your actual APY, because for that first year you're only earning the 2%, and then it goes up. So it's just that's accumulated over time, the APY over the entire length of the stake, where the yield is what you're accumulating in that time period. And so
it just takes up a little bit each year. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, really? And you can't EES your stake. It's locked in for good. And you can't access, like, dude, it's not sexy to me at all.
No.
I'm sure some people would do it, and I could be wrong, guys. If I'm wrong about this and you know some other game theory I'm not thinking about, please post in the comments and educate me. I'm always willing to be educated, but I see this moment that holding your party liquid is way more advantageous to staking. Not only are you going to get hex rewards, but I can also Jeep my bag.
Sure.
But you guys let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Do you know how the gas is paid for the pools?
It's a cumulative efforts from there's now I've heard them talk about it, but I don't know the actual game mechanics behind it. But it's a community effort is what I know. It's a community effort.
Gotcha.
So I can look a little deeper, D-Nice.
Yeah, I did too. I got in the first few minutes. Not too bad.
I did. And I unfortunately kind of bought the top, but I got a bag, so I'm happy. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm holding. I didn't play the law of memes. I got in too late.
Sure. Here's a question: does the hex yield per pool only happen when the pool is made, or every single time a pool starts and ends?
That's a good question too. I think it's only when it's made. But once again, those are game mechanics I do not know. I don't. Because I'm not planning on making any over there. Like if I was going to go in the weeds, kind of like make some pools and do that like part of the protocol, I would be more inclined to like, what are my fees? What am I being involved with? It's cool. You get like dang, we could create like I don't know, a DeFi crypto alliance pool. I don't think you can go that long of a game, but like you can, then you have a token that's, you know, that you can go and create a liquidity pool over on PulseX with and have a tradable token, you know, whatever ticker you choose. And then it's backed up by a hex stake, which is really cool. I like the game theory behind it, you know, creating interesting stuff out of that. So I don't know, you know, but I haven't really given so much thought. Yeah, I like my party liquid. Yeah, and I don't own a lot of it, and so like I'm gonna hold it liquid for the rewards, and then you know, yeah, I like being able to sell it if I want to be able to sell it. I mean, go lock your party up for 100 years. I don't know what.
Yeah, in fact, if everyone here would go and do that, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so, I bet you if you could lock up the token for 100 years, Brizology would do it.
Yep. Our top signals here. Hey, to Briz's credit, I think the Ink token has the most room to run of all Richard's tokens.
I think you're right.
On Ink, man. I like Ink.
I think you're right. I got a bag. I don't think I have a big of a bag as you do, Dane, but I got a bag. I'm ready for it. Like this last time when Ink was around $2.70, I think it was $2.70 mark. I accumulated, and so I'm ready for it, man. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Cool. Well, it should be a pretty good place to wrap today.
Why? Because Brizology's here.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. We should be here more later this week. Our days are just stacking up where things are pretty crazy. If you guys are going to be in Arizona this weekend, we are going to be at another real estate event speaking out there. I'd love for you to come and hang out with us. That'll be Saturday. It's a one-day event, quick in and out for us. So one-day event in Phoenix on Saturday. I'd love for you guys to come and hang out. It was a blast to see everybody that was at the PulseChain tour this last weekend in Houston. We were there. That was a lot of fun to meet you guys in person, and we'd love to see you some more.
This is interesting, Dane. Well, I wonder how many of these pools do we see get created when we are at the top of the market?
Be a top signal.
Dude, this could be an indicator. Like if the pools are at the all-time highest of being created, like that was like the signal, like it's all-time highest pools created in over a week or a month period. Yeah, that absolutely could be a top signal in its own regard. That's a very interesting thing because you know how many hex stakes are being created. Like look at the last market cycle top. I guarantee you people were buying these stupid you know, hey, stake all your hex 555, buy our hex at 44 cents. And yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of hex stakes being created.
Yep.
And now they're wrecked, but you know, that's another topic.
Yep, agreed. Cool, guys. We appreciate you tuning in today. You guys make the show and make the community what it is. We're blessed to be here with each and every one of you. Don't be afraid to open your mouth. Once again, now is the time to be talking about all this stuff rather than in 12 months when you could get your friends and family in at the top. I would not recommend being one of those people. So share it now. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show. Appreciate you guys.
Peace, guys.